Hello and welcome to the Gosplant Gardens. It is the 10th of May or the 11th of May, I think. I don't know, I forgot. It's pretty cold outside, especially when it's night. We've only been having a bit of sun every now and then recently, but it's been coming out, but getting some decent shine on the plants. It's about 9 o'clock now. I'm just listening to the birds again. I think I just had a pigeon come in to roost for tonight on one of these beech trees. And another note, the lupins are now coming into flower, or at least one of them is. It's a exciting thing, for me at least. So today, or tonight should I say, I just wanted to talk about I'm going to put out the word manifesting, because manifesting is the term that is used in YouTube communities, right? The spiritual, the esoteric, the whatever you want to call it, the law of attraction YouTubers. I don't know what you call it, but I'm not bringing this to a super high advanced kind of thing, because I did actually do a video on this before. I called it the deeper theory of manifestation and letting go and knowing and all that kind of stuff. That's one part of it, but today I just wanted to touch on a more simple matter of simply being. I think I put that in the video as well. So, and I need to quote a kind of a legend in this space of manifesting called Neville Goddard, and he says, live in the end. Live as if what you want is already true, so therefore you aren't wanting anything, you are accepting that what you are being is already there. As if, say you wanted to, well, be a gardener and have a big, like a house off grid somewhere, and have a big garden and that kind of stuff to grow all your food. Well, there are a few ways you could go about this, and one of them is you could just go in panic mode and go, oh no, I need to go get a job because everyone says I need to go get a job and make money so I can do this. That's one way to go about it. The other way to go about it is move yourself, move your body into that paradigm of where you are growing your own food, you're growing whatever, doing whatever you're doing, and just spending all your energy on that thing. And I'm going to try and get deeper into this, because that was a bit simple. But what I'm trying to say is, I'm going to quote someone else here as well. This is Jason from Archaics. Reality is commiserate to who you think you are, or who you see yourself, or who you are. As in that sense, people say that, oh, you are the reflection, or this is the reflection of you, or what. I don't know how I've heard it before. I'm just trying to conceptualize it and put it into my own thought, and just put it out here, and so I can have this on my channel, and well, so I can, you know, put it together in this way. So living in the end. Say for instance, you want something to take place, but you do not have the resources or the thing that needs to be taken place. You simply do the thing, in a sense, to prepare for it. Like, say for instance, you want a relationship with a girlfriend, or say if you're a girl, you want a boyfriend. You, like, say for instance, you know, you put yourself, you think as if you already are in that relationship. So then you think, well, what do? You know, you know, like, say for instance, I'm not talking about this, you know, say you do something together. What do you do together? Like, say for instance, you want to go on walks together, or you want to go on runs together, or you want to do some sort of fun activity together, like going to the beach or something like that. Even if that you don't have that partner, you just go and do that activity. Like, I'll do a little example here, because I did this before, and what I did was, I was just thinking, you know, I'll take myself on a date as if I was taking someone else, like my girlfriend, on a date. So there was one day, I think it was in November last year, I went to this place called Blackpool, and I went to go walk down this, and if anyone knows, in the UK, in Blackpool, they have this, I think it's a couple mile long, the coastal road is completely lit up with illuminations. Like, they've got like, you know, different fairy lights, different type of lights, illuminations. It's called the Blackpool Illuminations, and you know, there's different themes going on, and then there's all sorts of things on the side of the road. There's all the street lights are lit up, all that kind of stuff. So I was thinking, well, I want to take my girlfriend on a thing like this. So what I did was, I took myself on that kind of thing. So I lived in the end as if it was already true, and took myself on that date, or whatever you want to call it. Just having a good time with someone. So I had a good time with myself in the intention, and intention is one of the most powerful things. Intention and imagination. So if you imagine that you're already there, you're already doing it, well, that will then just change your reality into that exact thing, right? And you can't really think of time in a sense, oh, it's going to take time, or I need to move to a destination, because if you think it's going to take time, it's going to take time. Because, as like, say for instance, you move towards something, it could literally just happen the next day. You literally just wake up and someone texts you, or you literally just, I don't know, you just meet someone, you know, or say even when you took yourself on that date, you just meet someone out there, you just go, oh, hi, what are you doing? Oh, and then they just say, oh, I'm taking myself on a date, and you just, you know, that kind of stuff. So And just to link this to something else, say you want a career in something and you want to do a certain job for the rest of your life or whatever, you don't go and, like, say you want to be, I don't know, a writer who writes songs and progresses their career. You don't go and just work a normal 9-to-5 job and spend your time doing that, come home, watch TV, eat your tea, and go to sleep and repeat. It's like you move yourself into that thing where as if you already are. So you just become it, I'm not saying, just quit your job, but in that sense, say you do just quit your job, that is like you are breaking the pattern in what you're doing. You just told yourself you're not being that person who needs to require to go to a job site or something like that to live. You are now telling yourself that you are a writer, that you are going to do this, and you already are it. So your reality is then going to fold around that. And what you need to understand about this is you can't half-arse it. You can't go, oh yeah, I'll just blah-de-blah-de-blah, I'll write a bit and then I'll just go watch some TV for a couple hours and then I'll go do some writing. It's like you've just got to mold yourself into that whatever it is. Because for instance with me, it's like if I want to do a certain thing with the garden and maybe like say for instance I really want to grow I want to grow a load of fruit and veg and herbs, but then I'm looking at the garden and I'm just like, oh, all the spaces have been like taken up. I don't just go, oh no, I'm gonna have to go work a job and buy some land and wait until I've got enough money to go buy some land. No, what I do is I sow the seeds, which I want to sow anyway, and then that simply tells not only myself, but it tells this that that you have already got what you wanted, and so therefore you don't really want it anymore because you already have it. I'm living in the end. So I go and sow them seeds, and it is just up to, I wouldn't say chance, I would just say it's just up to, is it consequence? I can't really put my tongue on the word. It's up to the reasoning of the potential event, what is going to take place. Like say for instance, if you think, how are you going to get more land? How are you going to get more money? How are you going to get this and this? Then you've just added a whole load of stuff to the process, and you've just got to start from here and work all your way to the end of your how. When you could have just started over here and just gone, okay, I'm just going to sow these seeds anyway. And then what if the next day or the next week, or just forget about time, what if, say you get, you've got your plants, or you've got your whatever, and it's ready, and then the very next day, or the very second, you just go, oh, well, what do I do with it? And then boom, it just happens. You just, say you get some land, or say someone comes to you, oh, here's this bit of land here, or just put it in your own perspective, that kind of stuff. And now I'm not trying to, if anyone wants to go, oh well, that's not real, that won't happen, well, there you go. You've just self-affirmed that something that could happen can't happen, because it's not a belief, it's a knowing. And I'll take that from someone else's channel called Reflections Rampage, and it is kind of a deep thing what I've always stuck with, because thinking and believing is kind of a mutable thing, because one day you could believe something, and then another day you could believe something else. Like, you could believe that the sky is green one day, and then the next day you'll believe that the sky is blue, or something like that. But knowing is like taking the factual evidence and just looking up and going, well, the sky is blue, or at least what I can see from my eyes, the sky is blue. Oh, right now it's a bit greyish and going dark. And I can look at the ground and go, well, the grass is green. That is what we can literally make sense of, right? So if you put it into fact that whatever you want to come to fruition, you put it into a knowledge, you put it into a fact that it is already true. You live in the end, and you, like, this is the self-affirming activity of living in the end. Say, like I said before, you want to sow a load of plants, but you don't have the space right now. But sowing the seeds anyway solidifies that fact that you already have the land. Because if you said to yourself, I know that I don't have the land, so I'm not going to sow the seeds yet, well, there you go, there's the fact. You just solidified that fact into your reality, so therefore you're not going to sow the seeds and you're not going to get the land. It's as simple as that. But if you sow the seed in your head that you already have the land to sow the seeds, so you sow the seeds, so therefore that opens up the reality that you can now have some land. Because if you just say, oh no, it won't happen, you just said it won't happen, so that's a fact in your own head. But I know that anything could happen, as if someone could come to me tomorrow and just say, yo mate, what's going on? I'm getting on now, I need to go and chill with my family. I used to work on this orchard, and it's got a big house, and it's with a nice garden around it, and all this kind of stuff, and it's in this country, yada yada yada. And then just go, I think you're a good person, blah 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 blah, I think you're honest, etc. I think you'll take this and you'll do a good job of it. This is just me just formulating something, but this is just how it can go. And then it's just like, oh, that's just how it could happen. It's just something what could happen. Because, well, I don't really need a because there, because that's how it is. I can even put this into a real perspective, a real example. And just to say, I apologize if the camera's getting all dark. I don't know if it is or not, but it's getting dark here. I can put this into a real example. couple months ago, I wanted to get some seeds. And this is the same thing which I'm saying about, I wanted to sow these seeds and all this kind of stuff. But this is just a different example, which is true. This is a true example which happened to me. So you can refer this. But so what I wanted was some seeds. So I wanted to buy some herb seeds. But at that moment in time, I'd spent my money on some books and some other seeds in the past. But I wanted these seeds now, so I could get them sown in because it's the time to sow them, etc. So what I did was, I had a space in the garden where I wanted to put them. This is obviously a different perspective to where you're saying, you sow the seeds because or you think that you want some land, so you sow the seeds anyway. This is a different example, all right? This is just a different route to it. You can twist it however you like. So my example was, I wanted these seeds. I needed the money to buy these seeds. And at that time, I didn't have any money to buy them. I only had money to go and, I don't know, get a bus trip to the shop and buy some apples or something like that. I don't know. But anyways, so what I did was, with this, that I put it into a fact. I solidified the fact that I already had the money. I already had the seeds. I already was there in the end. I was already living there in the end. So I went out, I tilled my land, and I just went, whoa, this is where the seeds are going to go. Quiet. And I literally, I affirmed to myself, right, this is where these seeds are going to go. I'm not going to plant anything else here. This is where them seeds are going to go. And then, lo and behold, a few days later, I got some money. And I went, you know what, I'm going to go buy them seeds. And I bought those seeds. And now I've got those seeds. And they're not in the greenhouse, they're in the house for a little bit more warmth. But some of those seeds are in the greenhouse and they're in the house. They're there. It's real. I solidified the fact into reality. Even though my reality of what I sensed in that moment of time wasn't true. Like, say for instance, and this is like dipping into the duality of it. Like, I could say, I don't have a girlfriend. Like, right now, I don't have a girlfriend. I would love to live with a girlfriend and, just mingle about. And just live with a girlfriend. And be in the garden and just chill with my girlfriend and do cool stuff, etc. As you do. So, if I wanted to do that, I would simply, what would I do if I already had a girlfriend? Like, the same thing with the preparing the land for the seeds. Well, say for instance, this is a real example as well. I did this before, a few weeks ago, I reckon. I was like, well, girls are normally, they like tidy rooms, and obviously I had like a girlfriend who, keeps herself tidy and clean, etc. like that. So I tidied up my room again, and I decluttered everything. So I was like, okay, let's make some space, Making space and decluttering your room is a really good idea, or should I say activity, ritual, or whatever you want to call it, to do, because it invites new energy, declutters old stagnant energy and brings new in. So I did that, And then I'm not saying, oh no, she's still not here. I'm not saying that. I'm just living as if it's true. So maybe tonight, well, what could I do? Maybe tonight I'll go and make sure I get a shower, and I'll... What's something else I could do? Maybe even after this video, I'll just sit for an extra few minutes and be with the intention that, you know, I'm just sitting outside, and as if I would be sitting outside with my girlfriend and we're just chilling, maybe having a chat, maybe just looking at the trees, meditating, etc., listening to the birds, that kind of stuff. And, you know, it's your imagination. Use your imagination to your benefit, and, well, it's just a tool, innit? It's just a tool to improve your life, really. And another example, like I said before, was, you know, say you want to go for runs with your girlfriend or your partner, whatever. So you simply move your body and just go do it with the intention, with the imagination. And now you don't need to dwell in it all the time. Like, say for instance, every minute you're running, you're just thinking, oh, I've got my girlfriend beside me. You don't need to do that. You just move forward with that intention and then let go, because dwelling on it kind of just, you know, it can bring anxiety into it, and then it's just, you know, you do want your mind clear, obviously. You don't want to just be thinking that you've got a girlfriend, or obsessing that someone is sat next to you. You just simply obviously imagine, all right, I kind of twisted that a little bit. Imagine that you are already there. Feel that feeling. And this is another Neville Goddard thing, and I apologize if I'm going a little bit too long on this video, but we're getting into it. Another quote from Neville Goddard is, feeling is a secret. So if I wanted to just, you know, act as if it was already true, I would feel, well, what would I feel like? Bring in everything there, and then live as if, act as if. And you've got to have the imagination, the thought, and the feeling, the emotion, and the action with it. You can't just have one or two. You've got to have all three mixing, combining together, and then that's just gonna, well, fold your reality in whatever way you want it to. Boom. So if I was wanting to just sit here and just go, right, I intend to just have a few more minutes out here just to chill, or say just whenever, just chill out here, maybe have a brew, maybe have a smoke or whatever. And I intend, well, to do this, that I am doing this with my girlfriend. Boom. Hope you enjoyed the video. Peace, love and unity. Let's all come together in community and make our lives better. Yeah.